Alright, so today we're going to be reacting to people who outlived their prison sentences. I thought it was interesting, so I was like, hey, let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm Carlos. If you're new to the channel, welcome here. I want to give you a warm welcome and hope that you would subscribe, hit the like button, you know what I'm saying? Do all the things you're supposed to do. All right, let's go ahead and get right up into it, though. People who outlived insane prison sentences. Wow. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I uploaded a reaction video yesterday saying that, you know, I was feeling sick, okay? The past 3 days, I've been feeling, like, miserably sick. And today, I finally feel better, so maybe I'll get to grinding and knock out more reaction videos and do some vlogs and whatnot and stream. I don't know. We'll see what happens, though. I just want to make sure I'm completely 100% good. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get it going.
This convict outlived a life sentence. Well,
not that any of y'all really care, but I just thought I'd let it be known still. You get what I'm saying? I'm that kind of guy, you know. If I let y'all know I'm sick, I'm gonna let you know that I'm starting to feel better. I'm gonna let you know that, you know, if I told y'all that I was feeling sick and I wasn't feeling good, and of course, I'm gonna let you guys know. All right, I'm starting to feel better now. I gotta let y'all know, okay?
Come back, Charlie here. These criminals were sentenced to decades behind bars, but lived longer than their prison sentences. From people wrongly sentenced to decades in jail, to dangerous criminals set free after serving more than 70 years.
Damn.
First, we have to look at Ricky Jackson. Can you imagine being in prison for 40 years of your life for a crime you didn't commit? Well, that actually happened to this man.
Wow.
When Ricky Jackson was only...
That is crazy. Can you imagine that? Getting sentenced that long and you didn't even do it? All right, this light right here is like messing me up. Hold on. Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, 40 years they said? That is a long time. A very long time.
When Ricky Jackson was only 19 years old, he was arrested for a crime he did not commit. Police said he took the life of a salesman named Harry Franks. The only evidence cops had was a witness statement from a 13-year-old named Eddie Vernon.
Dang.
Aside from that one witness, there was zero physical evidence. Despite this, Ricky Jackson was found guilty. He was initially given the death sentence.
What?
But after several appeals, this was changed to a life sentence. Ricky was sent to prison in 1974. He thought he was going to die behind bars, but in 2013, the witness, Eddie Vernon, broke down in tears. Eddie admitted he did not see Ricky take the life of Harry Franks,
wow,
and instead was coerced into saying this by cops. It turned out Eddie Vernon never even saw the attack take place. This shocking revelation meant that Ricky Jackson was finally released. He was given freedom in 2014 after spending 4 decades behind bars, but
oh my lord, bro. After doing that to him, I hope that he did the craziest lawsuit. It was just a different time back then, you guys. Like back then, it was just so different. Like there was no police body cams or nothing like that, so you got to understand that these police, some of them, they was actually very janky. Like that was doing bad stuff with like bending the rules, and it still gets done today. We all know that. Like, ain't no one perfect, ain't no cop perfect. We know that the cops still be doing some shiesty things, right? So, man, I'm proud this guy got to come home. Let's just hope that he gets what he deserves.
Sadly, this meant he was now an old man at the time. Ricky Jackson was given $18 million in compensation, but some say that's not enough for all of those decades lost. But would you take $18 million to lose 40 years of your life?
I don't
Personally,
know. Probably not.
I definitely wouldn't.
No.
Moving on,
Nah, hell nah, because there's so many moments in life that is worth more than just money, you know? Like just finding happiness within yourself, finding love, building a family, if that's something that you're into doing, that you want to do. There's way too much that you could do in life, you know, and then you can become a millionaire on your own. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm working on becoming a millionaire. It might sound crazy, but I'm delusional, okay? You got to be delusional to get to the places you want to be. I
have to look at Betty Smithy. Betty Smithy is America's longest-serving female inmate. In 1963, this woman took the life of a minor. For this crime, she was given a life sentence. But while she was behind bars, she managed to escape 4 times, although she was caught again every time. Eventually, she decided to stop trying to escape and instead improve her life. She got educated behind bars and began writing poetry. In 2000, 2003, Betty applied for parole. She was rejected, but in 2012, she appealed again, and this time she was finally freed. She spent 49 years behind bars, but was finally made a free woman at 69 years old. Some said she should never have been released due to her crimes, but the judge believed Betty had changed behind bars. What do you think? Is 49 years in prison enough or not? Moving along, we have to look at Thomas Trantino. In 1963, Thomas Trantino got drunk. He then got into an altercation with two cops and ended their lives. He was arrested a few days later and in court was given the death penalty. He was on death row for 8 years until 1971. That was when New Jersey abolished the death penalty, meaning that Thomas's sentence was changed to life behind bars. While he was locked up, Thomas wrote 2 books. In 2002, he applied for parole and, surprisingly, was released. He spent 39 years in prison, making him New Jersey's longest-serving prisoner. Some people, especially cops, were annoyed that he was released. But do you think nearly 4 decades is enough for what Thomas did? Moving along, we have to look at Joseph Ligon. In 1953, 15-year-old Joseph Ligon was sentenced to life in prison. You see, Joseph had got drunk and decided to do some robberies. This caused 6 men to be injured and 2 men to lose their lives. Joseph Ligon was found guilty for what he did and was sentenced to life behind bars. Decades went by, but in 2016, the law changed. It was ruled that life sentences for juveniles were unconstitutional. As a result, Joseph was released in 2017. He had spent
It almost seems as if, like, the cops will lock some people up, right? The district attorney's office, the DA. It seems like some people get lucky and get released, but I almost feel like as if they lock certain people up, throw away the key, and they get lost in the system, you know, like there's no way of getting out, but like they might have been innocent. I feel like there's a lot of people that are locked up today, in today's time, that are actually so innocent, but you know, they pretty much got screwed over in the courts. All right. So it just, like, it's crazy to see these photos of these people, like, that they got dealt such a shitty hand of cards. Excuse my language. They got dealt such a shitty hand that they ended up in prison for something that they didn't do. And of course, there's also going to be people in there that are in there for something that they did do. Right. But it's just like, I do think about that. Like, my mind thinks very, like, way past what we're seeing here, and sometimes that's why it'd be so hard for me to explain something to you guys, because like I look at it and I'm trying to think beyond of what's going on here. Like, let's dig a little deeper about the people that are in the prison systems and they don't belong in there, right? I don't know. It's crazy.
68 years behind bars, going in at age 15 and leaving at age 83.
Wow.
But here's the surprising thing. Although Joseph was free to go, he refused. He had spent 68 years behind bars and was too used to jail life. So instead, he preferred to stay in prison, which is where he still is to this day. Next, we have to look at
I mean, after being in there so long, it's just like you probably wouldn't even know how to adapt to the normal life, right? You probably don't have no family that's willing to look out for you or take you in. So I could understand, like, hey, might as well keep me in here. I'm already getting old, man. I don't have much time left. Just keep me locked up, bro. It's good.
Girls Ford. In 1952, this man was sentenced to life in prison and spent 64 years behind bars, all for a crime he did not commit. He was not even at the scene of the crime. He had allegedly taken someone's life. Some said that Charles was profiled by the judge and jury, meaning that despite the little evidence, he was still given a life sentence. It turned out Charles's lawyer never submitted an appeal. He was 20 when he went into prison and was 84 years old when he came out, meaning that he spent a whopping 64 years behind bars. Charles was released into a nursing home as he was too old to look after himself.
Right there. Like, you see this situation right here? The dude wasn't even at the scene. He was not even at the scene. But still, he did what, like 64 years? For what? You know what I'm saying? The system is corrupt. Like, I don't know how, like, we can't just, how do we not notice that the system is so corrupt? Like, the people that are way up, you get what I'm saying? Like, the elites, How do they allow this to happen? How are they allowing this to keep on happening? How? Why? Like, dudes in here losing their whole lives because of your guys' little mistakes that y'all making over here in the district attorney's office, the judge, the court. You get what I'm saying? The jury made them judge them. You get what I'm saying? Like, just because of what people are saying, people are losing their whole lives, and no one's really giving a shit about it. They're just letting it happen. That honestly makes me mad. I'm not gonna lie. It does make me pretty freaking mad that, like, these dudes have to lose their whole lives just because a mess up and they just let it slide.
So while he was released, he basically lost his entire
Wow. All right, girls.
So while he was released, he basically lost his entire life to prison. When Charles was released, he began crying in court. Next, we have to look at John Buns. This man is New York's oldest inmate. He ended the life of his wife of 17 and a half years. John Buns and his wife Virginia got into an argument. Things escalated and John used a hammer to end Virginia's life.
Damn.
John Buns was given a life sentence for what he did.
Homie
he was
ain't
said
playing.
to be released when he was aged 112.
What?
But instead, he was released early when he was aged 94. He was
What? 112? What? Hold on. How the hell did he live so long?
when he was aged 94. He was 120 a life sentence for what he did. He was said to be released when he was aged 112, but instead he was released early when he was aged 94.
Wow.
He was released in order to get medical care. That's because prisons find it too hard to look after people who are so old. But in 2014, at the age of 94, John Buns passed away.
They knew he was about to pass, that's why they let him out.
He is still the oldest ever inmate New York has had. Moving on, we have to look at Harvey Stewart. Harvey Stewart is a man who's been to prison many times throughout his life. In 1951, he was given a 10-year sentence for armed robbery. He was released but was soon put back in jail. This was for ending the life of a man named James Laird. Harvey Stewart escaped prison many times, but was quickly recaptured every time. He was later released in 1985 after serving only 9 years. But only 16 months later, Harvey was arrested yet again, this time for robbing a bank. This guy really does love jail. He served 59 years behind bars, and was finally released in 2011. This was mainly because of his old age and declining health. He was 83 years old by the time he was released. He outlived all of his family and friends, which meant he had no prison visits in over a decade. When Harvey Stewart was interviewed about his time in prison, he said this: "Imagine that, 60 years down in this damn hole. I wouldn't recommend it." Harvey's right, he really did waste his entire life behind bars. I think this man is proof that crime is not worth it. Next, let's look at John Franzese. John Franzese was a member of one of the USA's most deadly mafias. That is, the Colombo crime family. He soon gained a reputation as one of the mafia's most dangerous thugs. He claims to have ended over 50 lives, but he was never convicted for this. Instead, he was given a life sentence for a different crime. That was orchestrating many bank robberies around the USA. He was given 50 years behind bars.
God dang.
In 2011, John was released at the age of 93.
Professional
In
bank
2011, at the age of 93, John Franzese was given an extra 8 years.
Hey, bro was about a bag. I can't lie, bro. He was really about his bread, though. He was about his paper. He was out there hitting them freaking
He was
licks.
given an extra 8 years behind bars. This was for extortion and loan sharking. In 2017, he celebrated his 100-year-old birthday behind bars, and was released later that year. In total,
At
John
100 years
Franzese
old?
spent over 40 years in the can, meaning that he basically lost half of his life. I guess that's the price you pay when you're in the mob. Finally, let's look at James Moore. In 1962, James Moore ended the life of a 14-year-old named Pamela Moss. He was given a life sentence. While in prison, he did various jobs and also got an education. He requested to be released 20 times, but every time the judge said no. That was until June of 2022. He was finally released after spending 60 years behind bars, but he is now in full-time care. and had to have both of his legs amputated. Now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below, do you think life sentences should be allowed or not? I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, what are you waiting for?
Should life sentences be allowed, yes or no? I wonder what people are actually saying about that here in the comments. I kind of want to scroll down and look a little bit. Let's see. Being in prison for decades for a crime you didn't commit is worse than death. Seriously, this is the most cruel and unusual thing imaginable. I feel that. I feel the same exact way. I was bringing that up during the video, saying that, like, why is this even allowed? Like, they see it happening a lot. Why are they not doing anything to prevent this from happening, right? But, I mean, maybe they are stopping this type of stuff now. But I know there's still corruptions and just, like, corrupt things going on within the prison system. I know there is. It just, I can't prove it. You get what I'm saying? God dang, man. It's just, there's so much going on here. A lot of comments, you guys. But let me know what you think down in my comments also. Like, do you think prison life sentences should be allowed? Or do you think that's just something that's way out of pocket? Let me know what you think down in the comments, you guys. Shout out to the original creator. I'll be tagging him down below in the description. Okay? Like, comment, subscribe, show some love. And if you want to help support me, you could help support it by becoming a member of the channel. Go ahead and join. It's $4.99. All right? Thank you, guys. Peace out. Go.